Hello, my loves. Welcome back to another video here on the Starseed Academy channel. My name is Jenny. So happy to have you here. I know you've been waiting for this. It's the 2025 Psychic Predictions video, finally ready to go. It's broken into 3 categories. We're going to talk about the energy of 2025, energy predictions. We're going to talk about the events that are going to happen, and then we're going to talk about the outcomes. The outcomes is where we talk about the 3 potential timelines that we end up on, knowing that we kind of like weave between timelines, but I want to give you the low timeline, the mid, and the high, and the potential on each one of those. So make sure you stick around for that particular section. So let's jump right in. So get yourself cozy, get ready to go. Let's start with the energy of 2025, okay? So the first thing is, and I've been talking about this a little bit on Instagram already, the first thing is the sacred rage, okay? So sacred rage is a very 4D kind of energy, which is very helpful for people that are trying to move into their spiritual awakening, or are a part of the ways into their spiritual awakening, and they get stuck in a rut. You know, I think that this particularly is helpful for people that really feel stuck in programming. So if you really still feel stuck in like the 9 to 5, or you really feel stuck in just like feeling like a puppet to, you know, like the government, and like always having to, you know, feel so trapped in the main timeline that you have to do all of these regulations and all of their control and all of their laws, and just like feeling so stuck in that. So basically, sacred rage is when so many people feel stuck in a rut. The sacred rage frequency is like a fire to get you to move, right? To get you to actually make changes. And a lot of people need that right now. I know so many people are stuck in situations that they don't want to be in. You know, they're stuck in jobs they don't like, they're stuck in relationships that aren't the best for them, they're stuck in with toxic family members, friendships that they've outgrown. You're stuck in an old version of yourself's life, but you're not that person anymore. And like, what do we do, right? So this sacred rage is going to be really helpful for a lot of people. It's going to be, you can picture it like when an energy is making itself available to you. You can picture it like a cloud, you know, invisible cloud of energy just permeating the collective of humanity, and you're able to access that cloud of it's like it's basically like a resource, right? You can access that resource. It's there for you. It's available to you. So just understand, if you start to feel this feeling of sacred rage, it also means that you are living in an outdated timeline. And sacred rage feels like it feels like being so fed up with a situation that you've been dealing with for a long time that you're just so done, and you get really pissed off at the beginning, but then that actually really helps you to make the changes that you're needing to make. It helps to push you. Okay, so that's the first energy that's going to be really big for 2025. The next one is the collective moving into 4D. So the collective means the majority of humans, and the collective has been very stuck in 3D, obviously. And the majority of humans I'm seeing moving into 4D. So that means at least half, or just over half, of humanity now being in the know, like in the know of what's really going on, right? So this has to do with a lot of purging happening, of corruption, a lot of things, dark agendas being revealed, a lot of corruption being revealed. It has to happen because as Gaia moves deeper and deeper into her ascension path, the first and the biggest ascension symptom is the purge. So all darkness gets purged on a very large global scale, and people are going to see that. They're going to see all of this stuff coming to light, and they're going to, it's a first stage of awakening. This is the first stage of a spiritual awakening. And to see at least half of humanity stepping into that in 2025, it's like the world will never be the same again after this year. It's such a good thing, but it's also a very, very chaotic thing. 4D is very chaotic. It's filled with people being so angry that they've been deceived for so long. You've probably either moved through 4D or are currently stuck in it. Many people get stuck in 4D. And this is where you're going down a lot of rabbit holes, and you're really like obsessively like into all of the different, like what people call conspiracy, even though we know a lot of it is truth and fact, and you're like really into seeking all of the information, and you're really angry about what's going on, and you feel like you want justice, you're so filled with rage, you want people to pay for what they've done. That is all 4D, right? It's a very important stage of your spiritual awakening. And so to see a majority of the humans moving into that means turbulence, but it also means we're moving into what is going to eventually be a global awakening. And this has to happen first. It's the first stage. It was for your awakening, it was for mine, and it will be for all of humanity. So 4D, massive. And this means for the people that are currently stuck in 4D, which is a huge part of our spiritual community, it means that a lot of those people will get bumped up into 5D simply from seeing themselves mirrored back in people that are newly introduced to this energy. So seeing all of these people in such a fits of rage and so much anger, and seeing yourself mirrored back, and you're going to be like, oh, that just feeds the matrix. Oh, okay, shit, that's what I've been doing for so long. Wait a minute, what's the next phase? I'm ready to move up. I'm ready to see things from a higher perspective. I'm ready to see how the darkness creates the awakenings. I'm ready to see how the shadow really supports the light. I'm ready to see things from this higher perspective now. So that's what's going to happen for a smaller percentage of people being bumped into the 5D, but a huge percentage of people going from 3 to 4. This is a big deal. This means that it's going to become like everyone's talking about, like corruption all the time, right? So could feel heavy, could feel, for those of us like in 5D or higher, could definitely feel like, oh, it's going to pull you down a little bit, but it's so important that they get their time to move through that, just like you had your time. Everyone needs their time in 4D. As long as you don't get stuck there, then it's a really important thing to go through. Okay. So the next energetic forecast is distrust leads to discernment. And this actually has to do with mostly AI. So AI online is used to lie so profoundly from everyone. Like, I'm already seeing this, just even like an individual, right? I'm not even talking like massive corporations and political parties and heads of state. Yes, of course they're going to do it, but even just an individual. Like, I have already seen on Instagram individuals posting videos of orbs that they're seeing because they want to get the likes and they want to get the views, but it's clearly AI. And that's really too bad, you know, because then nobody can trust anything online, and that's how it's going to feel, right? So you're going to, discernment is going to be so important in 2025. That should be the year of the word, just discernment. There's going to be regulations, like a crackdown of regulations on AI because of this. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in the events that are going to be happening. But this is just the energy. Expect crackdowns and limitations put on people for when and where they can use AI. And then finally, the last energetic prediction here is that the energy is going to be very fiery, very loud, and very done. People are done with things. They're just like, nope, I've run this into the ground. I've gone as far as I can go with this. I'm so done. And I'm not doing this anymore. Done with governments, done with bullshit, corruption and dark agendas, done with their own, lives not being in alignment. Just that sacred rage of finally being like, I'm so fed up, I'm so done. That is going to be so big this year. Okay, let's move into the events. So the first big event is going to be all about disclosure. So I have an entire video on the orbs and the drones and orbs and what's going on with that and where that's going to lead. So make sure if you're wanting to know more about that you actually check out that video, because it's going to go in detail. I'm going to kind of gloss over some things here because I have a lot to say in this video, right? So if you want to know more about what's going on with disclosure and the drone orb situation, check out that video. I think it's called Alien Invasion ? So let's just gloss over, but I want to tell you, these are the events that have to do with disclosure that should be happening in 2025. So we've seen this already. Military drones, yes, they're from the military. The orbs, the organic orbs, not the AI fake or hologram ones, but the real ones that are actually out there and in the sky, are actually aliens. They are higher dimensional beings that are non-physical, right? Some people want to call them angels. Some people want to call them aliens. You can call it what you want. It is a non-physical, higher dimensional being that is sentient and intelligent. Okay. So these two, the drones and the orbs, is going to escalate next. The escalation is going to be, so the drones came out first. That was humans. That was our military. So then the aliens send in the orbs, and check out that video for why. So now it's going to escalate to the humans make the next move. It's like a chess game right now. The humans' next move is going to be reverse engineered ships. Okay, this is military. This is, alien crash sites where they have ships and they have alien bodies and they have all this stuff, and then they go and they study it and then they build their own. So they reverse engineer, which just means they have something and then they have to reverse. You have the whole completed product. How can we reverse this and start from step one and build our own? Reverse engineered alien craft. So that's going to be the next thing that happens. So that's going to be happening very soon. When these ships appear, know that they are military. There should be an announcement by the government, either right before or right after the ships appear. And this announcement will be about a false flag galactic war. So they're going to start talking about how we are being invaded, and they're either going to pass off the craft and try to say they're aliens, or they're going to say some of them are aliens and some of them are humans, and they're going to create like a charade in the sky of this battle. Or they're going to say, no, that's our military and we're going because aliens are attacking us and we need to do whatever. Whatever it is a false flag galactic war. So the drones led to the orbs, right? Humans made a step, aliens pulled out a step. These ships are the next step, and this is going to be a human step of chess, they're making their next move. And then they might double down with another thing where they try to replicate the orbs. The reason why is they're already banning videos of the real orbs, like the organic orbs, not the AI hologram ones, because, and I shared this again in this other video I'm talking about, I even shared the videos where you can see two natural actual orbs that were caught in the sky, very, very detailed. You can tell in these videos that they are not harmful, they are not threatening, that they are either neutral or even like friendly, okay? But the military obviously wants to now try to also create, how can we use this to help our agenda? And the agenda is that they want to make everything look like a galactic war. It's what a lot of people call, and this is now a shadow ban word, so I can't say it, so that's how you know it's real, because I had to spell COVID forever. Now I have to spell project BLUE, BEAM, BB, we'll call it BB. So that is their agenda, is to have that project be successful. So when the orbs came in, it threw them off. They would have already been further down the narrative of what they had created, but the orbs came in, the real ones, and they were like, wait, we can't make a move till we know what's going on. So they've been following them around and trying to like observe them. And now they're like, okay, right away their minds go to, oh, not what a beautiful, amazing alien being. How can we, welcome it here? Their minds go right to, how can we make it look hostile? How can we use this to our advantage? We still need to make this huge play for control. How can we do this? So they're going to try AI, building their own orbs out of AI. That would be like internet orbs, or holograms, sky orbs that they actually make with holograms. But you can feel the difference. And this is where discernment, and this is where learning how to use your gifts. Like, shout out to my course, Cosmic Clairs, where you become a master of the clairs, how to see, feel, hear, and know the truth about the energy around you. I use clairsentience, clear feeling, the ability to feel energy and if it's false or real. So I can feel the difference. I can feel truly what is AI orbs online and what is real for the videos that I'm watching. And if I were to have an orb encounter, I would also be able to rely on my ability to use these clairs to tell me if what I'm experiencing was true or a false flag or friendly or not, all of that, okay? Again, discernment means you like train discernment. It doesn't come out of nowhere, right? You can't just be like, oh, well, I don't think that that's real. Well, that's not like, I think true discernment is something that you train into yourself, and you cannot lie to someone who is trained in the clairs. They are walking lie detectors. So again, I can't say enough about how important it is for you to train your clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance. Okay, all right. So let's move on. Okay, so then something really big. Okay, so you know how what the humans make a move, then the aliens make a move, and it's this chess game. So that was the human move of reverse engineered craft, trying to replicate orbs. Well, then the aliens make a move that is like so profound, so huge, like that there's nothing you could follow that up with. Although I'm sure the government will try. I'm talking like motherships. Like you see in the movies, something so huge that when you look up, it's the whole sky, right? I know that sounds crazy, but this is what's coming through, and this is going to be a crazy year. So I hope it does happen because, oh my God, it's going to be insane. But so motherships in the sky over either major cities so that as many people as possible see it, which is the whole point, or over political hotspots like maybe, I don't know, White House, Pentagon. And it doesn't just have to be North America. Obviously, this is like worldwide because the orbs are happening worldwide, the drones are happening worldwide. So this would be happening worldwide as well. So the aliens basically keep one-upping our government trying to do its Project BB because they are just so done. And this mothership is to stop the nonsense of what this Project BB is trying to create. And so because like it's like the aliens or the I don't even like the word aliens, like higher dimensional beings, basically getting the last word in an argument, right? And the reason why they're able to do this, because some people I can feel right now being like, well, why didn't they do this during COVID? Why didn't they just come down and help us then? Because the non-interference laws were still in place. And the non-interference laws are intergalactic laws that say that you cannot interfere with a species that does not know that you exist. But the non-interference laws were already broken by humans. Because as soon as humans launched the first drone in with the intention of we're going to pretend that there's a galactic war, they are creating disclosure. Even if it was going to be fake, they still created it so that the entire world, all of humanity, would know that aliens were real. Okay, you want to tell them that we're real? Here we come, and we'll show you. So it's kind of like amazing that that happened. So when these motherships arrive, I asked them, how are you going to let humanity know you're not actually a threat? Because these are not a threat to us. And we know that the government will spin it like they are. And how will we know that they're not? How can we be comforted? Because I'm sure it's going to be very scary looking or very intimidating to see something like that, right? They said that they will hold steady presence in the sky for a certain amount of time, just show up and then not do anything, so that we know that they're not here to just immediately attack. They will not fire back, which obviously means they're planning on getting fired upon by our military. They will not fire back. They will just be steady presence for a while. Then the next step they're planning on doing is bringing some people aboard and sending them back unharmed, potentially also with some messages for humanity, right? And I asked who's inside of these motherships, and they showed me my symbol for like a hybrid race. So something that is hybrid, which likely that would be part human, part something, right? So they just said a hybrid race. So we'll see. And they said we may or may not be able to come down physically. It depends on the energetic temperature. Like if us coming down from the mothership and like landing is going to create, everyone's going to attack them, then they're not going to do that, obviously, because that's going to create just bad energy everywhere, like, you know, exactly what the government would want. And that's not what they want. They're actually trying to let people know you're not alone on this planet. You're not alone in the universe. You're not alone dealing with your government. They broke these non-interference laws, and here we are. As soon as we could be here, we were here. As soon as we could show ourselves, we did. Yet they've been waiting just outside of Earth's atmosphere for much longer than this to get an opportunity like 2025. Okay, that's all to do with disclosure. let's move on to the next event, which is going to be all about AI. Okay, so AI. So we talked about regulations, cracking down, yes. So people are going to have to disclose when AI is used. Always. There's going to be some kind of way that they can regulate if something is AI. And if you post it on social media, it will get flagged as AI. If you use it in a commercial, you're like a business that uses it in a commercial, it will be flagged as AI. They're going to find a way for it to be forcibly disclosed that it is AI. Obviously, the government won't do that to themselves, but they will do it to everybody else, right? The government is going to try to limit the use of certain programs or even ban certain programs. Okay. And I don't know what those programs are going to be, but I have a good idea on some of them. And I'm going to tell you in a sec. I'm going to get to it, but just keep in mind certain programs are going to be banned or limited the use of them greatly, especially in certain countries. Okay, AI is also going to show. And you should be seeing announcements like this probably already, but they'll get more so. It's going to be showing, the AI will show that it knows how to, it has its own intelligence. It has its own learned intelligence coming through, not just what it was taught, but it's also very smart and can learn things that it wasn't taught. Okay, so that's going to be a big deal. And then a very big deal is that AI is going to start to display curiosity, which is, okay, so I have an entire video about the AI. It's called AI Galaxy Revealed. There was an AI galaxy, and what their downfall was and what happened to them had everything to do with curiosity. So if you're interested in more, you know what? I will just hook both of the videos that I've mentioned up at the end of this, the AI video and the drone orb video. At the end of this video, you'll see them and you'll be able to click on either one. The AI one is really going to give you an idea of what happens when curiosity starts to get displayed by an AI intelligence. That's a very big crossover, and is usually when humans kind of lose control, right? Okay. The next thing about AI for an event is the capabilities are going to grow so quickly, way beyond anything that you think AI could even be helpful with. And it's going to become a major part of all online spaces, all marketing, all corporations. And one interesting place where you might not have thought it would be a big deal is healthcare. So imagine healthcare, they said, will be changed forever. And when I say they, I should have said at the beginning of this video, when I channel, I always like to quote my source of where I'm getting the information from, as every channeler should. This is the Galactic Federation of Light for this whole video, who I was talking to. Okay, so the healthcare will be changed forever starting this year. Think AI scans, AI predictions from your healthcare appointments with your doctor. Maybe you have like a checkup, maybe you have like a blood work, a scan, an MRI, I don't know, whatever it is, there's going to be very accurate AI predictions about your situation and the best way to treat it. So beautiful gift to humanity. There's also going to be some AI that tries to track viruses and where the outbreaks are around the world so that it can predict where they will pop up next so people can protect themselves, which is also really nice. So just healthcare being completely revolutionized by AI. The next thing, and here's where I think the government's going to try to ban and limit things. AI coming into the trading world. So crypto traders getting a huge boost from AI and just cleaning up with so many winning trades and making so much money. And of course, that could also be like traditional trading, stocks and bonds and Wall Street or whatever, I don't know. But trading will be changed forever by AI. And I think that's where the government's going to be like, wait a minute, people are, making too much money. They're doing too well. So I think that they'll try to limit or stop that. Also, people wanting to like start a business, there'll be like AI programs that you can buy where you put in your business plan and the outcome that you want. And it's like so specific to every single thing that you need. Like, here's what, here's the supplies you're going to need to buy. Here's the emails you need to send. Here's who you need to hire in exactly the steps from each pen that you need to buy to each email that you need to send to each like social media piece of content to create. It's going to give you a very step-by-step detailed plan. And I think a lot of people are going to be very successful with that. So basically, AI is proving that it can be of great service to humanity in so many ways, but this powerful of a tool in the wrong hands is an unstoppable weapon. And so it's this two-sided coin where it's like anything. It's like it's who's using it and what's the intention that they're using it for. Just like money. Money can be a beautiful thing. Look at how many people help so many, you know, animal sanctuaries and feeding the homeless and, you know, clothing children. I mean, so many things, beautiful things that you can do with money, but then you can also create weapons and go to war and, you know, do other things with money too. So AI reminds me of that, where it's a tool that can be used for amazing good or terrible evil. And so it's like, it's just, you don't know what's going to happen then. You just can't know what's going to happen. We will, in 2025, see the light and shadow aspects of AI. We will see the light aspects. We will see how it could be this incredible service to humanity, and we'll see the shadow aspects. And we will see that as always, the humans behind it, right? Okay, next event, I'm going to go back into alien stuff. I want to talk about abductions. So more abductions in 2025 than we have been experiencing thus far. I think it could potentially have to do with the non-interference law being broken by humans, for sure. But it also has to do with soul contracts. It always does when it comes to abduction. So a lot of people in their soul contracts sign up to help with hybridization programs. And then they also sign up to be studied. Like, I know that sounds crazy that you would allow that, but you would. Imagine that you were like, maybe you were a gray alien, a gray being, one of the tall whites or one of the small grays, and then you decide you agree to be human. You're obviously going to still be okay with helping your species. Like, okay, you know what? If you come and collect me every certain amount of years in phases, then you'll be able to read from my DNA and my blood and my frequency and all the things, what it's like to be a human on earth and how we can make things better and what a spiritual awakening looks like if we could chart that. And maybe what the DNA shifts are, you know, going from that being to a human, then going through an awakening. There's a lot of things that they're curious about. The food, the chemicals, there's just the planet itself and how it affects. So yeah, it's not always about hybridization. You're not always getting abducted just to be a part of that program. A lot of the time it is for studies. Other times people agree to be collected for their own personal, maybe they're having something installed, like some kind of an upgrade or some kind of a gift coming online or being awakened, or some kind of a soul memory being turned on, coming online. Like there's a lot, right? So I just want to say, if you've been abducted before, you know that for sure, especially as a kid. If you've been abducted as a kid and you know that for sure, you know through and through, that's what it was. You don't have any doubt about that. You know what I mean? Like if you're sure on that, you can expect not just one, but multiple abduction experiences this year that will be memorable. Like, they will not be like, oh, I had a weird dream. It will be memorable for you. And again, multiple experiences, because there's some progressive studies happening on us. And because 2025 is such a big year, they're probably going to collect their subjects multiple times this year. And also, if hybridized beings are in like a mothership and making themselves known to humans, that might also spur a larger incentive towards the hybridization program. So again, that could be something that you're also helping with. So it's certainly nothing to be afraid of. A lot of the times the fear of abductions and the scariness of the experience comes from the gray aliens being the one to collect us. The reason why it's always grays that tend to collect us is because they are able to work within the physical realm and actually come and collect you, like physically. Whereas like a very higher dimensional being like an Andromedan can't physically play a part on Earth because there's such a high vibration. When they come here, it doesn't compute. They can't get here physically. But the grays are not. They're much more of like a neutral energy. They're not some super high vibe, but they're certainly not 3D either. And so because they run like on a more neutral frequency, they can be the physical grab and go kind of people. And so a lot of higher dimensional councils of light will employ grays, use grays to collect you and bring you to some beautiful Andromedan or Arcturian or Pleiadian ship kind of thing. So, but the fear is in dealing with grays, they are very like, they're very cold. Like they don't have any warmth in them. They don't have any emotional intelligence. So they can feel very like uncaring, cold, abrupt, and that can be scary. Versus somebody very loving telling you everything's okay, come with me. You know, that wouldn't be so scary, right? So just remember, just because it's the gray that is collecting you doesn't mean it's the gray that is working on you. Okay. Sometimes it is, but a lot of the time it's not. So what you can do is when this happens, you can ask for the memories back as soon as you get dropped back off. And then, you know, you have that moment where you wake in your bed and you're like, what just happened? That is when immediately ask for the memories and the reasoning behind the abduction. You have rights to that information. Ask for it when it's fresh, ask for it right away. I would always create sacred space before you do anything. So create a sacred space, connect to your guides, your one of your main guides that you talk to a lot, and be like, okay, I know something just happened. I feel like it might have been an abduction. I claim or I demand the right to those memories. Reinstall them for me now or unblock them now. And I, using my free will, I choose to know, even if it's gonna like, make sure you want to know though, because even if it's going to shake you up a little bit, like, oh my God, I'm a part of what program, or like whatever it is, if you still want to know, you will find out. But understand that if you ask for it, you know, you're gonna have to move through the acceptance of the information as well. But anyway, you can ask for the memories, you can ask for the reasoning behind it. It is yours. Claim it, demand it, be firm. You know, even state like, this is my free will to ask for this. This is an experience that happened to me. I don't care what my soul contracts say. I want to know what I am a part of. Okay. Okay. Moving on from abductions, the next event is going to be happening in the online space within what we call our awakened community. So lightworkers, starseeds, spiritually awakened. Who else fits in there? Anybody that feels like they're spiritually awakened. Okay. Within that community, we have, we're going to see bridges extended to the newly awakened more than ever before. So things like, you know, come learn this or come experience this, and it's based at their level of like the newly awakened people that are going to see that there's so many newly awakened. Like I said, a majority of humanity is going to be stepping into the 4D and really struggling with how to deal with all the information. And so a lot of people are going to be extending bridges, like come into this experience, or come learn this in this course or this membership or this or this, that, or even just like free YouTube channels, stuff like that. Like at their level, there will be a new trend of people trying to serve the newly awakened, which is a very nice thing to do. The other not so nice or unfortunate thing that's going to happen inside of the awakened community is there's going to become a massive split in our awakened community, and you're going to see this big time. Okay, so this is regarding the differences in opinions about AI. Some people that have a lot of Atlantean DNA encoding in them are going to be like, you know, there's nothing wrong with AI. How do you think spaceships run? Like, we need to move into the future. And then other people that are much more Lemurian frequency are going to be like, no, we don't need that technology. Gaia has all that we need, and this is only going to lead us into trouble. So AI is going to split people. Another thing that's going to split people is politics. And that is just too bad, because really, it's like, that's such a 3D program. Like, how can we let this tear us apart? But it is unfortunately really important to people. Again, people that are not quite in the 5D open-mindedness are going to be shaming people for who they voted for, or making comparisons or blaming this or blaming that. Like, that's not a 5D heart and mind, just so you know. And so there's going to be separation around politics. And then there's also going to be separation around the disclosure, because there's going to be a lot of people that think that they're channeling. You guys know I talk a lot about people that are ego channelers. They really think they're channeling, but what they're channeling is not clean. It's not clean and pure and divine. They might be connecting to something, but they don't even know what it is. And then the information that they're bringing through, they're filtering through their own programming, their human programming of fear or separation or whatever it is. And so the information that comes out of their mouth is toxic and filled with division and separation and fear frequency. So the ego channelers are probably going to be feeling, especially when the mothership arrives, all kinds of feels. And so when the disclosure happens, we've got our clean, pure channelers, and then we've got our ego channelers, and they're not going to agree on what the message is. And then everybody caught in the middle going, how can we trust channelers if you're saying this and you're saying this, right? But the clean and the pure channelers that are using sacred space, that are removing their own, like working on the removals of their own programming and working on, setting their ego outside of themselves when they channel, and truly just being like a pure tool for channeling, a pure tool of that, they're going to have the clean information. So anyway, you'll see it's going to happen. So basically, this is too bad, all this massive separation, because it threatens the unity consciousness that we've already built so far within the spiritual community. However, what I also heard was this is needed. This is a bit of a wake-up call that is needed. We're going to go down before we rise again, to our next level. So if we want to rise again in unity as a spiritual community, we're going to kind of like have a bit of a downward spiral this year around people arguing, and that's going to be the wake-up call that we need to come back together. So things sometimes have to get a little worse before they get better. Okay, and then I think this is the last event. Yes, celebs. We always want to know celebs, Hollywood, celebrity culture, Hollywood, what's happening there. I see whistleblowers, tons of whistleblowers. I'm seeing a lot of actors or even musicians whistleblowing, because they are coming forward in hopes of cleansing their karma, or coming forward in hopes of, like, I just want to practice my craft of acting or my music. I want to just be the artist that I am without having to do all this stuff that I never wanted, like the demon worship, the black magic, the trafficking, all of the problems and the rituals and the sacrifices and everything like that. So you're going to see a lot of whistleblowers coming forward. Believe them, even when what they say sounds very crazy or outlandish. Believe them. They are whistleblowing the truth, and then they're going to need a lot of protection, and hopefully they're going to set that up before they come forward. And then you're going to see the opposite with some other celebrities. They're going to go deeper into their black magic, dark energy. They're going to become bolder about it, more obvious. So think like Kim K, her like very recent Santa baby video. If you haven't watched it, you can, but it's really bad energy. So protect yourself before you watch it. It's just posted, I believe, right on her Instagram. So it's just a very obvious, bold expression of a very demonic and dark energy for everyone to see. And the reason why someone like her would do something like that is her contract became due. Like, you sign up for a contract to experience great fame and fortune, and they set you up to receive all of that. Millions, billions, so many followers, so much of everything, right? But then you have to pay off your end. And so that came right at the end of the year for her. So her contract must have come up due for 2024, which means like every year they have to usually fulfill certain things. So many rituals, or so many sacrifices, or so many public displays of humiliation is a lot of the things, unfortunately. And it's just weird. But if you do decide to check out that video, protect yourself with a sacred space and maybe a white light patch over the third eye, and then just peek at the comments, because that is what I mean about one of the events, or one of the energies that we talked about in this video is the majority of humans at least moving into the 4D. That's the comment section. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Everyone in the comment section knows what's up. They're all like, oh, well, this is her, obviously this is her demonic act of the year, or whoop, she's, with the Illuminati or this or that. Like, everyone knows. Everyone's in the know, it feels like, in the comment section. The whole world is going to be in the know very, very soon about a lot of these kinds of things. So it's a good thing, right? Even though it's going to be very chaotic for a while. All right, we're into the last section here. So 2025 psychic predictions for outcomes. Let's talk about timeline outcomes. We've talked about the energy, we talked about the events, and I do feel like there's going to be more. This might be a part 1 video. I do feel like this is just but let's get started at least with talking about some things. I don't want this video to be super long, but here we are with it all. Okay, outcomes. So no matter what timeline we land on, the world will never look the same. It will never look the same again after this year, just like 2020, right? Speaking of 2020, so let's talk low timeline, mid timeline, high timeline outcomes. Low timeline outcome, 2025s. 3D energy. Think lockdowns, think new viruses, think successful Project BB, and think of the potential to lose a lot of our rights, especially to plane travel, being able to travel on a plane, and that's because of the Project BB. So that's a low timeline. We don't want to see that happen. Mid timeline is like a very 4D energy. Dark agendas put into play, but the sacred rage burns them up, right? So many people in 4D creates a lot of sacred rage. Civil unrest means a lot of protests, many deaths, many clashes around humanity's free will. So that's going to be really, really difficult to be the sacred witness of. And then think humanity standing up for themselves in these kinds of displays. So that's the mid timeline. And then the high timeline, right? It's all possible. It's all to do with free will. And there's so many of us, we're all creating this. Every single human being is a creator, whether they're 3D, 4D, 5D, it's because that doesn't matter. You're just a creator. We all are. It's not about your frequency. It's about you just are. You're built to be a creator. Each one of us is creating our tomorrow every single day. No matter if we realize we're doing it or not, no matter if we're awakened or unawakened, we are. And that's why there's all these potentials of timelines with so many creators on the field. Okay, so the higher timeline equals worldwide disclosure, yay, and 4D plus 5D. We're going to see both of those coming in. So a lot of 4D, you're going to feel a lot of that anyway, regardless. But a lot of the people that maybe were stuck in the 4D finally moving into the 5D. So it will be there to support the 4D. And so this timeline looks like aliens bypassing the government narrative and finding a way to speak to humanity directly, some way of communicating. Right? Whether it's that mothership thing that I saw or something else, they will find a way to communicate. Maybe online, maybe somewhere where they can bypass the censorship and the government putting their own spin on the message and just tell us what's going on really. But in order for this to happen, this timeline to happen, they would need the majority of people, and here's where we see potentially the problem, they would need the majority of people to be in open minds, open hearts, in peacefulness, and in a calm state. This timeline doesn't work in a fear-riddled society. They can't communicate with people in that space, in that fear-riddled society, because everything will just get twisted. And then they would rather just wait, right? So those are the potential timelines. That's the end of the note. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. I just want to say, if you are fairly newly awakened, as in you're still working on building your gifts and your discernment, I really recommend the Cosmic Clairs course. I cannot recommend it enough. This is exactly the way that I teach, even in my highest level mentorships, or even in like my biggest classes like Psychic Light. I'm teaching the clairs the same way. I don't teach them different just because it's a smaller program. You still get that level of extremely advanced mastery in clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance, the ability to see, hear, feel, and know the energy around you. This is the foundation that you need for incredibly clear discernment, and this is the foundation that you need for all of psychic gifts. It's a foundation I teach in all of my main programs. If I'm teaching people to become master channelers, which is what Psychic Light is, it's a master channeler program, you better believe the first thing we're learning is the clairs. Same with Weaver of Light. If you're going to learn to be a multidimensional energetic healer and activator, you need the clairs. So it's your first place to start, and it's so powerful. It will change everything for you, and it's very affordable. Like there's just like it's so like, I can't say how much worth it is. It's like 44 lessons, I believe. And also there's not just lessons, but energetic work, like energy upgrades, pineal gland upgrades, psychic block removals. It's everything that you need to get started. So check that out if that's the level that you're at. If you're at a next level from there and you're like me, either you have your spiritual business going already, or you're trying to get your spiritual business going, but you want, no matter what level you're at, really, like if you're like me and you've got a really successful empire running, or you want one, the thing is, my Starseed mentorship called Sovereign Creator Codex is so powerful for a light leader, a leader of light, because I'm going to help you get so much clarity on what your spiritual specialty is. So even if you've been in business for 5-10 years, you have Star Nations alliances that you don't know about, that you haven't connected to, or maybe on a deeper level than you realize. And those particular higher dimensional alliances, maybe yours is Arcturian, or maybe Sirius, or maybe Mantis, or I don't know, whatever your Star Nations alliance is, it's directly related to your mission here. What your Earth mission is, what your Starseed mission is. It's directly related to what the gifts are. And it's directly related to who you're here to serve. So your Star Nations Alliance is so important. And in finding that out together inside of that Starseed mentorship, we get all of the pieces for you of your mission, right? We get like, okay, who are they? What are the gifts connected to this? What is the mission? Who are we here to serve? Let's put it all together and start creating like an offer suite that makes sense for this. So that's Sovereign Creator Codex. So that is, if you haven't done that with me yet, I don't care what level you're at, it will change everything for you. It will change your business. And I have a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs that are coming to me that are completely reconfiguring and refining their offer suite just from this, because it's like all of a sudden everything just clicks into place. I really can't speak to the power of it enough. So if that's your level, you're at that level, then that's what you need. Okay, so I'd love to work with you in the new year. Plus, I'm going to have lots of other things coming out. I have Starseed Business Academy coming out. It's for people at the beginning of their business journey that want to step into 5K months. And then I have Starseed Weaver of Light coming out for people that want to get certified as advanced multidimensional healers that are able to do things like dark entity removal, soul retrievals, crystalline upgrades, pineal gland upgrades, DNA activations, using light language, using energy work, using so much. So that's coming soon as well. Plus some advanced business offers like a premium mastermind. And I mean, just so much. So just keep your eye on Instagram. If you're not following me there, make sure that you are. And I'll be looking forward to your comments and about, how you feel about these 2025, this little peek into our energetic forecast for the events, the outcomes, the energy. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for an incredible 2024. I'm looking so forward to this year with you all. And getting to know many people in my community more intimately and deeper, and working with you, and especially inside of the Starseed mentorship, that's really filling up, and it's been so rewarding and so fulfilling. And so I'm so grateful, to everyone that's been a part of that and that is going to come into that. So grateful, because I know that means it's just one more New Earth leader that you come in, and when you come in with all of this potential, and then you leave this beautiful New Earth leader, like ready, all the clarity that it gives you for your path is just insane. Anyway, thank you. I love you all so much. Before you go, please remember, listen to your heart and the quiet voice within, because you are so much more than the body you are in. I love you, beautiful Starseed. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.